Hadīth 1. Narrated Abdullāh, I heard a man reciting a verse of the Holy Quran, but I had heard the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, reciting it differently. So, I caught hold of the man by the hand and took him to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, who said, both of you are right. Shu'abah, the sub-narrator said, I think he said to them, don't differ, for the nations before you differed and perished, because of their differences. Hadīth 2. Narrated Abu Hurairah, two persons, a Muslim and a Jew, quarreled. The Muslim said, by him who gave Muhammad superiority over all the people. The Jew said, by him who gave Moses superiority over all the people. At that, the Muslim raised his hand and slapped the Jew on the face. The Jew went to the Prophet and informed him of what had happened between him and the Muslim. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent for the Muslim and asked him about it. The Muslim informed him of the event. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, do not give me superiority over Moses, for on the day of resurrection all the people will fall unconscious and I will be one of them, but I will be the first to gain consciousness, and will see Moses standing and holding the side of the throne of Allah. I will not know whether Moses has also fallen unconscious and got up before me, or Allah has exempted him from that stroke. Hadīth 3. Narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, while Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, was sitting, a Jew came and said, O Abul Qasim, one of your companions has slapped me on my face. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, asked who that was. He replied that he was one of the Ansar. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent for him, and on his arrival, he asked him whether he had beaten the Jew. He replied in the affirmative and said, I heard him taking an oath in the market saying, by him who gave Moses superiority over all the human beings. I said, O wicked man! Has Allah given Moses superiority, even over Muhammad? I became furious and slapped him over his face. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, do not give a prophet superiority over another, for on the day of resurrection all the people will fall unconscious and I will be the first to emerge from the earth, and will see Moses standing and holding one of the legs of the throne. I will not know whether Moses has fallen unconscious or the first unconsciousness was sufficient for him. Hadīth 4. Narrated Anas, a Jew crushed the head of a girl between two stones. The girl was asked who had crushed her head, and some names were mentioned before her, and when the name of the Jew was mentioned, she nodded agreeing. The Jew was captured and when he confessed, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ordered that his head be crushed between two stones. Hadīth 5. Narrated Ibn Umar, a man was often cheated in buying. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to him, when you buy something, say, to the seller, no cheating. The man used to say so thenceforward. Hadīth 6. Narrated Jabir, a man manumitted a slave and he had no other property than that, so the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, cancelled the manumission, and sold the slave for him. Nu'aym bin an-Naham bought the slave from him. Hadīth 7. Narrated Abdullāh bin Mas'ud, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, said, whoever takes a false oath so as to take the property of a Muslim, illegally, will meet Allah while he will be angry with him. Al-Ash'ath said, by Allah, that saying concerned me. I had common land with a Jew, and the Jew later on denied my ownership, so I took him to the Prophet who asked me whether I had a proof of my ownership. When I replied in the negative, the Prophet asked the Jew to take an oath. I said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He will take an oath and deprive me of my property. So, Allah revealed the following verse, Verily, those who purchase a little gain at the cost of Allah's covenant and their oaths. Surah 3, Ayah 77. Hadīth 8. Narrated Abdullāh bin Ka'b bin Malik, Ka'b demanded his debt back from Ibn Abi Hadrad in the mosque and their voices grew louder, till Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, heard them while he was in his house. He came out to them raising the curtain of his room and addressed Ka'b, O Ka'b. Ka'b replied, Labbaik, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. He said to him, reduce your debt to 1/2, gesturing with his hand. Ka'b said, I have done so, O Allah's Apostle. On that, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to Ibn Abi Hadrad, get up and repay the debt to him. Hadith 9. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab, I heard Hisham bin Hakim bin Hizam reciting Surah Al-Furqan in a way different to that of mine. Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, had taught it to me, in a different way. So, I was about to quarrel with him, during the prayer, but I waited till he finished, then I tied his garment round his neck and seized him by it and brought him to Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, and said, I have heard him reciting Surah Al-Furqan in a way different to the way you taught it to me. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, ordered me to release him and asked Hisham to recite it. When he recited it, Allah's Apostle said, it was revealed in this way. He then asked me to recite it. When I recited it, he said, it was revealed in this way. The Quran has been revealed in 7 different ways, so recite it in the way that is easier for you. Hadith 10. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, no doubt, I intended to order somebody to pronounce the Iqamah of the compulsory congregational prayer and then I would go to the houses of those who do not attend the prayer and burn their houses over them. Hadith 11. Narrated Aisha, Abu bin Zama and Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas carried the case of their claim of the ownership of the son of a slave girl of Zama before the Prophet. Sa'd said, O Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. My brother, before his death, told me that when I would return to Makkah, I should search for the son of the slave girl of Zama and take him into my custody as he was his son. Abu bin Zama said, he is my brother and the son of the slave girl of my father, and was born on my father's bed. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, noticed a resemblance between Utbah and the boy, but he said, O Abu bin Zama, you will get this boy, as the son goes to the owner of the bed. You, Sauda, screen yourself from the boy. Hadith 12. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, sent horsemen to Najd and they arrested and brought a man called Thumama bin Uthal, the chief of Yamama, and they fastened him to one of the pillars of the mosque. When Allah's Apostle came up to him, he asked, what have you to say, O Thumama? He replied, I have good news, O Muhammad. Abu Hurairah narrated the whole narration which ended with the order of the Prophet, release him. Hadith 13. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, sent some horsemen to Najd and they arrested and brought a man called Thumama bin Uthal from the tribe of Bani Hanifa, and they fastened him to one of the pillars of the mosque. Hadith 14. Narrated Abdullāh bin Ka'b bin Malik al-Ansari from Ka'b bin Malik, that Abdullāh bin Abi Hadrad al-Aslami owed him some debt. Ka'b met him and caught hold of him and they started talking and their voices grew loudest. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, passed by them and addressed Ka'b, pointing out to him to reduce the debt to 1/2. So, Ka'b got 1/2 of the debt and exempted the debtor from the other half. Hadith 15. Narrated Khabbab, I was a blacksmith in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, and As bin Wa'il owed me some money. I went to him to demand it, but he said to me, I will not pay you unless you reject faith in Muhammad. I replied, by Allah, I will never disbelieve Muhammad till Allah lets you die and then resurrects you. He said, then wait till I die and come to life again, for then I will be given property and offspring and will pay your right. So, thus revelation came, have you seen him who disbelieved in our signs and yet says, I will be given property and offspring? Surah 19, Ayah 77.